Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As the title states, we bought a Repo'd L6060 Kubota for snow removal, and there will be a loader at it. This is the journey we're going to be taking to restore this tractor and make it like it once was in 2015. It has seen better days. It's sat outside. We looked at a bunch of tractors and ended up coming back to this one because it had the setup we liked, and not really the setup, I guess that wouldn't have really mattered. Just the overall condition of the tractor was what we wanted and what I thought was the best buy because of the tires that came on it, and the condition of it, that it was not all rusty. Many of the tractors we looked at had scabby rust all over the frames. This one had little to no rust on stuff. I mean, regular stuff like exhaust and where tires rubbed, little stuff like where it bolts together there. Again, none of this has been cleaned up. I don't think this thing has been washed in, probably a few years. You can tell by the tires. The tires were in good shape. And again, with the rust back here, a lot of tractors, when you looked at the differentials and all the jazz back here, 3-point linkages and stuff, were solid rust. Where the remotes connect there, they were solid rust. This one is not rusty at all. It's all in good condition. It has fading on the hood. Might not be easy to tell right now because it's super humid right now, and they're calling for thunderstorms, and everything is kind of just covered in humidity here, so it doesn't look as faded out as it could be. But you can see that even this, where this dealer sticker would have been, that was removed at one point, that is even faded. It has an air ride seat. The interior condition overall is good. The whole body isn't banged up like many of them. Minor rust like that underneath the floorboards that I checked is fine. It's not rusty under there. The scraper blade is nice. We got all the filters for this thing already to change. The one real con of this that we've noticed is that you got to rev it up a bit to get the big heavy stuff lift, like this here on the 3-point, which hopefully is just a filter. Worst case comes down to a pump. We're still gonna be $1,000 for a pump or something. It's really not that bad. The worst part about it, I guess, is the top corner of this cab has been smucked, but that's something I can glue up. It's really not cracked bad. That'll come together. There's just a bunch of duct tape on it because we didn't want it to fly off on the road. The snowblower, we're gonna work our best on trying to straighten everything out and repaint it and make it look like brand new. These Pronovo snowblowers are built really heavy, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a bit of a project, and it's gonna be fun. Gives me something to do. I like fixing up stuff, and that's a third of the price of a new one or less than that, and make it look like a new one. So come watch our adventure on how we get this old L6060 fixed up and looking like brand new again. Got a big storm coming in. My dad and brother worked on it a bit today while I was at work, and I came home and just gave it a quick pressure wash. I was hoping to get this all on video, but it's coming in. We got a huge storm. May as well do this mat. Well, we're gonna tackle this tonight. It's pouring rain out, and I gave this a good scrub, good wash, got all the grime off of it. I took the old style Kubota decals off right here because we're gonna put the newer style ones on to make the tractor look more modern. Only a couple of years later they started doing that. So we're gonna try and make this whole hood look like this, if you can see it from that far away, because it is so faded and it's driving us nuts that it just doesn't look good. So we're gonna get that with the buffer and my favorite Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and see what we can do. Well, just rolling in from work. We got a new bucket, forks. We had it delivered today by a guy named Jordy, Gully Bridge Equipment. He sold us a loader for a really good price compared to what Kubota wanted, and we just got to put it on. He also got us some fenders and a bunch of stuff, so he even brought his own skid steer and delivered it into our driveway. He said, for $100 I'll bring a skid steer along, because obviously we don't have any way to unload it because we got a tractor with no blower, or no with a blower on it and no loader. Is that what it is?
Maybe. Yeah. A lot more looser now.
Oh, because the gas there, that's why.
Keep tapping that pin, Josh, on the outside.
What if I go like this?
Yeah. Tap.
Oh.
See if you can.
You're good to pull away, I'll hold these lines. Yeah, you can use mine. Well, it's getting about dark here. We went through a couple tripods because my one camera died. I had my phone on it. We didn't get a lot filmed, I guess. So anyways, we really didn't get much accomplished besides putting this bracket on here. You got 5 bolts. You'll notice 2 are loose there because I got to get a tap. I didn't have an M18 tap or M16, whatever they are. I got to get one tomorrow. So I just cleaned them out. I brushed them out with a wire and a copper pipe brush and cleaned them out. Got everything else so nice and tight. Ran our hydraulic lines. They attach from here and then they loop through to here to a quick connect. So that was kind of nice. And same on this side, we didn't have much luck. They put plastic caps in these loader holes. So I got 3 back there. I got the 2 down there tight. And up here, I only managed to get 1 tight and one about halfway and a few of them halfway. I just want to get it on, get everything square so I can pull those bolts out. And I know that you know, they're threading in nice, but deeper in there's rust. So I got to get a tap. But basically we'll pull out those. I'll tap them tomorrow once I grab one. These big support brackets that go back there, they're real nice. Got our tank brackets back on. And compared to yesterday, she's like a brand new tractor compared to what it was, you know, on Monday when we got it home. And it's Thursday now, so we got some minor cosmetic stuff to do yet, like the muffler shields we're gonna pull off and paint them up. When Jordy delivered the loader today, which we were hoping to get on, but everything's on, we got a fairing for down here that was missing. He gave it to us for a decent price. And yeah, we're basically into this 3rd function valve spot here. And this has a cover on it that fills up with sand and stuff. So these are all rusty in here. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do with that. But this bracket here goes right around into here. And we gotta pull out this stuff. So I'm gonna hit it with some penetrating oil tonight before we go to sleep here, and hopefully they'll come out easy tomorrow and we can get that final bracket on and get this loader on. Well, we got our tap. It's an M16 by 1.5. I encourage anybody that's doing one of these jobs to buy one of these before you do it, because your holes are going to be rusty. That's just from running it in a little bit there. So we're going to use some good deep creep for cutting oil and clean that out, and then we can get our bolts tightened and get this loader on. well, I didn't get it on film, but I put a new antenna on it for the radio for my dad. We got the loader on, obviously, all that on, tapped out. Those holes were a pain to tap and so tight in there. I had to use the vice grip on that, and you can see my certified vice grip. We got that all done. Battery remounted. The hood latch was broken, so we got a new hood latch cable. Checked all the tire pressures. The big one was obviously putting on the loader, cleaning it, degreasing it, taking off the subframe for the snowblower, doing all that jazz. What I'm working on now is this AC belt was removed, and we got a different part number, we got another part number. Basically what happened is, I'll zoom in here, on this pulley, this adjuster right there, you'll see at the end right there, was seized in there. So I soaked it in some seafoam deep creep overnight. We're gonna get that AC belt put on, which I probably won't film because you can't see anything anyways. And then we're gonna get to doing our tie rods. They are slopped out in here. No, I'm getting a good whack on this one. Nice. New filler neck on there because the other one was cracked. Got the floor all dried out, cleaned underneath. All the foam was wet, dried out. Put my magic spray on there, which seems to hold up pretty well. Everything is shined right up in there. Radio works. The roof, where it was cracked, we glued it up there. As you can see, we got both the lights working. The one pigtail for the one light in here was bad, so we bypassed it, or there's some green going on in a connector in there, so we bypassed that and got it going. Everything else is looking good on it, really shiny. I'm really happy with the tractor. We got these big fender flares. I gotta polish them up today, and the front fenders for the winter. Once the loader's off, we'll put them on for when we're doing snow removal. These fenders, I like them a lot better than some of the Kubota ones. They have like these big black kind of cheap looking things. Once we pressure wash these, clean them, I'll buff them, compound them, and put them on. They come right around here and will stop stuff from spraying all over the cab. All right, about a week and a half in now. Been trying to film stuff, but I've been getting so busy with doing other stuff that I haven't got around to much. We put on the winter fenders, getting it ready for the winter, and I'm just bolting up the plow mount again. Took off the brush guard. It's raining, starting to thunder in the distance, so might have to go in, but basically we're gonna have to rework something here because I just cut off this big bracket there with the yellow on it, because that used to mount to where the loader mounted right there, and it wouldn't be compatible anymore. So I left about 1.5 inches of material there that you can weld to if we gotta get somebody in to fab it up or whatever, because I probably won't do that. So we got to make that a little bit stronger and bolt it up. Could probably come straight down from these bolts, put in longer ones from the loader arm and go down to there. I would think would be I think it would have lots of support. Anyways, it bolts up nice with just these big M14 bolts to the front, 4 of them in there. And then on the back, they have a nice setup here. It says Repo'd on it, made in Quebec. And it goes straight through here and bolts right into the trailer hitch here, or whatever you want to call it, drawbar. That's welded on that plate. And then you just put these big 5/8 bolts through. I just got done chasing the threads on them because there's no reason I can't reuse those. They're nice What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're good, nice grade 8 bolts. So they just bolt up in there simply, and the mounts on, drive shafts in, and we're basically ready for to put the blower on, but we just got to brace the frame up. Never filmed any of the strip down process. It was basically 8 bolts to pull this out here. Did a bit of straightening out on stuff where there was some, you know, wear marks. I did that until it's clean and nice and straight, so hopefully when we repaint it, it won't look bad. Well, I butched the first paint job. I had to strip it all. I didn't film any of it because I was a little mad at myself. I'm gonna go back to a regular air gun to spray. I just got done putting it all in red oxide primer. There's a few things on bodywork that we could have done better, but overall all the dents and stuff that I got out of the chute there look a lot better. The inside of the drum is just gonna get butched anyways with the gravel and stuff that we're throwing, so I'm not bothering repainting that, because within the first 10 minutes of the fall or early winter blowing, that's gonna be bare metal anyway, so that ain't getting painted. It just looks funny now. It is paint day. Everything's primed. Obviously I told you we didn't do that. Got my paint all stirred up really good here. Got my high quality paint gun, and my mixing bottles, they got shipped to a shop, and the shop has them and I don't. So what I did this morning was took a 250 milliliter beaker, poured water in up to a certain point, marked the level up to 750 for my 4:3 ratio. Not sure if I'm gonna do 4:3 or 2:1. 2:1 is well, as you can see right there and there, it has a bit. 2:1 has more paint, less thinner, and 4:3 is a little bit thinner there. So we're gonna see what I'm gonna do and what I come up with. Well, I seen about halfway through my paint yesterday that my camera had died, but come out pretty good for a snowblower. A lot of shine to it, you know, a lot of dust and stuff in the paint because we were doing it outside, but overall the spots that didn't get dusty and stuff, I mean, for a snowblower, you could paint a car with that thing. Well, it is an HVLP, but anyways, it covered up a lot of the dents and stuff that were showing in here. You know, we're gonna put the auger in today. Paint turned out nice on this side as well. All the little imperfections on the blower, you know, they come out pretty good. Everything shows because it's so glossy, but once we get a few stones rolled through there and the chute and it sits outside a bit, it'll fade right in. I normally wouldn't paint this in a full gloss, but that's all they had, and it was pre-mixed Kubota orange. Off camera, I just shot a bit of black onto these after. I pulled my mask off, painted the gearbox black, just to offset it and make it look like factory. Dead on a week later. It's turning into more of an update video here than a actual footage video, but this stuff ain't too exciting. The paint's still looking really good. It's nice and dry, really hardened up. Been putting on a little bit of the accessories here. The gear cases I just drained. This one was right full of water and it was leaking out the bottom, so I made sure that there's like a little spring-loaded cap in here. Made sure that the vent's working fine, that it didn't blow out the gasket because of that. I just filled them up with gear oil in both gearboxes, and I put some new bearings in the tensioner and got it installed. Chain's good. I just got to put a new cotter pin in the master link here, and we should be on our way to, basically we've been waiting for 2 weeks for our hydraulic lines to come back. We got all new ones made because a lot of them were rough. This one was new, but any other one was all worn and stuff. So we just got all new ones made so we don't have issues. So just gonna get this installed and we're ready to put her on the tractor and try it out. Hydraulic hoses are finally in. I have been sick for a week now. I don't know what I got. And we're gonna leave the video here and we'll make a snowblower video of putting on the snowblower and a separate video here and us rigging up the lines and getting the snow setup done, and hopefully we can get you guys some snow blowing videos. But for now we're just gonna go over an overview of the tractor and what we all did and send it on its way to YouTube. So the last overview, you know, we started out with a dull faded tractor with a cracked roof, loose tie rod ends, no AC, no loader, some rusty paint, lots of little bent parts and broken lights and, you know, missing antennas, guards, just, you know, everything, rusty exhaust, had just been neglected, but overall was a good find, I think, still. So we got the loader on, you know, we did tie rods, got the mount back on, painted the exhaust there, did that AC up front. I've checked the valve lash on it, did a little bit of painting and cleaned up the interior, got those different fenders on it. We actually did flip the rims, I haven't cleaned them yet. The blade, we're gonna leave it as is, it's pretty good. And you know, it works well, goes in and out, extends way out. You'll see that in our next video when we go through everything. The only thing we're missing is a washer cap right here. Everything else, you know, it healed up the roof, the plastic on it, the silicone on it, and everything cleaned up nice. Everything shined up really well. I actually just got rid of the brake light system. There was all this old wiring everywhere running through, and I figured out that it must be a Quebec law that these tractors have brake lights, so they had a brake light switch installed under the brakes, which you never use anyways. You just let off your hydrostatic and it stops. So anyways, I gutted all that and made all the wiring work fine. The pedal sensor on it, it kept getting stuck. Well, not kept getting stuck, the odd time it would get stuck in reverse or forwards, vice versa. Sometimes you wouldn't have reverse, you'd shut it off and it would work. So I replaced the pedal sensor underneath here from Kubota. We put a new wiper motor in it, but otherwise cabin air filter, everything's all cleaned up in there. That cabin air filter actually was broken, so we got a new piece of plastic there. The air ride seat, you may have seen my last video, I bypassed the seat switch and made it so you can take that back out because it's just a pain. You go to stand up to look at what you're getting on the loader and the tractor stalls. So anyways, everything's in good order from where we started a month ago, and I think we're about cleaned up on this until we get the snowblower put on. So thanks for watching, and if you like the restoration of the Kubota and getting it all back up to par, or you're looking at an L6060 or a 4060, whatever, they're pretty well all the same. Chime in on the comments and you can ask me questions if you have anything that you should look for when buying these or whatever you want. And stay tuned for more videos.